everybody, it's Tony George from DocSports.com. That guy to my right here is ex-NFL quarterback and radio show host, sports analyst extraordinaire, Sean Salisbury. You can find him over at iHeartRadio, folks, for the Sean Salisbury Show each and every day. It's a great show. Follow him on Twitter as well. We're talking season win, and Twitter handle, by the way, is at Sean Unfiltered. We're talking about something that Sean tweeted out the other day, and that's the season win totals for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And Sean, being based out of Houston, said, you know what? The Texans might not be the worst team in the division this year. So I thought we'd follow up that tweet with the season win total for the Jacksonville Jaguars, which is 6.5. Minus 110 either way, over, under, Sean. And coming from playing at USC and then getting drafted and playing in the NFL, you clearly understand firsthand the difference between college and the NFL. From the coaching perspective, I think Urban Meyer's finding that out very quickly right now, Sean.
Yeah, listen, I thought it was one of the best, and here's the reason why. People question it. Others may say, well, they didn't like the hire at all of Urban Meyer. But here's why you have to take a chance on that. Everywhere, like at Ohio State in 7 years, he had like 9 losses. And at Florida, he didn't have many. Hell, some people will lose more games in 3 years. I mean, in 3 years than Urban Meyer is going to lose in his coaching career, whether it's Utah or Bowling Green or Florida or Ohio State. So I don't mind the chance, Tony. I like the offseason hire because if you're Jacksonville, you have to take a flyer. You have to find somebody, even if it's a college coach with this kind of success, you've got to at least find out. And yes, it is difficult, the transition. I don't know why it is so difficult anymore. We used to say that about quarterbacks. Oh, system quarterback, Mahomes or Jared Goff,
Right.
We say it every Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield. Well, all these guys are killing it. Kyler Murray. So since we've got by that quarterback, they can fit in. Great quarterbacks can play in any system. So we've got over that stigma that, oh, hell no, we don't run that in pros. Well, Brady's been running that before the Mahomes came to the league, running that spread and shallow crosser and getting the ball out, not RPOs, but a version of the spread. So I don't know where we've gotten to the point where if quarterbacks can do it, why we're still caught up in head coaches. I know you don't get 22 first rounders or 22 picks like you would if you're the recruiting guy, and it's 1 first rounder a year. If you're picking more than 1 first rounder a year, then you're probably not very good because you've traded assets. But all those things that go on with Urban Meyer, but coaching success shouldn't change on your speech to teams. Now I know they're younger and guys are earning a living as pros. Hell, they're earning a living in college now with name, image, and likeness. But I at some point in time, there's going to be the guy who's going to come and going to dominate college or in the NFL like he did in college, but we'll see. But normally these guys are hired to go to crappy ass teams. That's why. That's when you hire them. So there's going to be a learning curve. Can he handle losing? He doesn't lose much. And can Trevor Lawrence handle losing? Because they're going to lose games. Can Urban, with a college approach, but also change it and understand these are grown men. You don't get to be the dad and the general manager and the AD and the head coach like you were in college and everything they do. These guys go home to families. You don't get to know what they do on a Tuesday night. So it's different for him. I think he can adjust. And will he get burned out? Is he in this for the long haul? And you find out that things move. Everybody's Ohio State in the NFL. Everybody's Alabama in the NFL. Everybody's Southern Cal. Everybody's LSU. That's another thing for Urban that he's going to find out. But listen, I thought it was a good hire because of discipline. He'll make his players on that field accountable, but you still got to have players. And the NFL head coaching, you don't get to make as big an impact normally as you may on the college football player because there's more hands-on and there's more teaching. You kind of expect them to know it in the NFL. So it's going to be a tough task. And when you say 6.5 wins, I quite frankly am shocked that that's the over-under. Shocked. Now it's only the preseason, but it's a awfully vanilla approach that everybody has. I got to see him expand. And now that he named Trevor Lawrence over Gardner Minshew, that's not exactly a non-captain obvious move. We knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, a couple things come to mind here. Number one is the schedule. And I'll just give you the first 6 games before they go into their bye, Sean. and you tell me your guesstimated record. They open up at Houston, as you well know. You've probably been talking about that down there on your radio show, and that you're in the Houston market. And of course, that's
Houston should
everybody
be
wants.
favored.
Yeah,
Houston should be favored on that one because they got a veteran quarterback and a whole bunch of veterans. Even though there's some aging veterans, they understand the preseason grind. The Texans in game one.
Yeah, so if they don't win at Houston, they're going to lose to Denver and Arizona. They got to travel to Cincinnati. Now, Cincinnati probably will beat them. Then they have Tennessee, and then they have to play Miami and London, and then they go on their bye. They easily could be 0-6 going into their bye with a rookie quarterback.
Even if we throw them, and I think that, like I said, I think Urban Meyer is a hell of a teacher and will be demanding on them, which is okay, but the roster, and Trevor Lawrence is going to be a great player. But okay, so let's say they're 2-6 or 2-4 on that, Tony. They start off 2-4. And then I would imagine the rest of the schedule, I don't have it in front of me, but having looked at it like a dozen times, that it's not going to get that much easier. So
no.
I'm trying to figure out, when I looked at the schedule, where 7 wins are coming from.
Right. Well, get this deal. You say even if we threw them 2-4 their first 6 games, that would be a huge win to have 2 wins going into their bye. Huge.
Agreed.
And we all know Jacksonville does play well in London. They always have, but they had different quarterbacks, and we'll see. But I'd say 1-5 would be a best case scenario. 2-4 would be awesome. They need to, if they go into the bye week 2-4, they need to make Urban Meyer Coach of the Year right then and there. And then, but after the bye, get this 4-game stretch. They open up at Seattle, have Buffalo at home, go to Indianapolis, and then San Francisco. Good luck. Good luck.
So you had 4. That's 4 more losses. So if they're at best with the 2, and the problem is if they were at home against Cincinnati in the first part of it, it'd be a different story. But I think they're on the road, as you said, at Cincinnati. Is that what you said? I think, Tony, if they're on the road. So that'll be difficult, even though Cincinnati's rosters, they got a long way to go. But now you go 2-4 if you're lucky. Now you're 2-8. Now you're halfway through, or you got 9 games to go, and you still got to eke out 5 wins to get to the over. I think it's going to be, and we got to be patient because it's going to take a minute for Urban and Trevor. But I'm telling you that I think they're picking in the top 3 again next year, and it won't be a quarterback, but they'll get something else, maybe an edge rush or something. But I don't see it. I'm taking the under in this, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I hope they do. It'll be a fun competitive division if they can pull out 7 wins this year or 8 wins, but I don't see it. And I think the Texans will get 5 or 6 wins, and they'll have to fight and scratch for those, as I'll take the under for the Texans. The Jacksonville Jaguars can play really good football and struggle to get to 7 wins with the schedule and the quarterbacks and the players they're playing. I don't see it, man. I'm taking the under on them, man. I just am.
This is my best bet of the preseason. In terms of giving out futures. This is a full 2-unit pick here on the under 6.5. I don't see it. If they were to get to 6 wins, I think secretly behind the scenes, management and the franchise owner would be very pleased with 6 wins this year, breaking in a new head coach, a new system, a rookie quarterback that has a lot of promise. And bear in mind, Troy Aikman's first year, he sucked. Peyton Manning's first year, he sucked. They were on teams much like this team where they drafted them high because they went to those teams because they were bad. And as Sean so eloquently stated, it takes a minute. And it's going to take a minute here. And you don't have a strong supporting cast. Your best wide receivers, Marvin Jones, your running back you're counting on, hurt his foot in the preseason game. He could barely walk on the sideline. That's going to be a concern. Offensive.
By the way, I didn't mean to interrupt you. It came down the news today. ETN's out for the year. Now it's not just one. He's done for the year, so they don't have that back apparently, unless something changes. The last report was he's not playing this year, which adds more pressure to the quarterback in that position. It's going to be rough, Tony.
Well, they're going to be busy on the waiver wire once preseason ends, trying to get some depth at running back, and that's going to mean players that couldn't make the starting top 2 or 3 on another team. So you're behind an offensive line, by the way, that has all kinds of issues. And they didn't do any upgrade in the offseason with their offensive line, which really shocked me. So It's under 6.5. Jacksonville Jaguars. He's Sean Salisbury. The Sean Salisbury Show on iHeartRadio. Tony George, DocSports.com. Free $60. Click the link in the description below. Get hooked up with a football package this season. Let's get ready to rock and roll. And be sure and check out Sean and I each and every week, because those free football picks are coming now that college football's here, folks. So we're going to have a lot of fun this year with the old ex-quarterback and win you a bunch of money. Thanks for tuning in.